afternoon, Mr. Mack here, Riviera Cash Flow Show. We're at a new possible acquisition in a small town right off of I-10 in Northwest Florida. I'm not going to give away too much information yet, but we're going to do a quick walkthrough with it and take a look at what they have to offer, and then we'll probably, try to walk through our entire due diligence process, our offer process, and then hopefully to get to closing and then lease up, and we'll bring you along for the ride. So what we have here is looks like we got a bunch of flies. We've got an office building, maybe a couple thousand square feet. Looks like it's a mobile home conversion, office conversion, what have you. But the big prize is the warehouse. Built in 07, 32,000 square feet. Might be a little bit more than that, might be 38,000. This deal came up last night, and I came out here this morning, and I'm not real tuned on all the numbers yet. We're still putting stuff together. So we're going to do a quick walkthrough on it and see if we can make a deal happen. Wha-bam! Open span except for one column in the center. Like I said, I think it's 38,000 square feet. It is sprinklered. Got our sprinkler set up right here, our main valves. This is in an industrial park, and so it's on public water, city water, and city sewer. Got a nice roll-up door here, one of 3. That's a pretty big one. I'm going to say that's 24 by 14, or at least 20 by 14, something like that. Anyway, if you take a look, the ceiling, it is insulated. The roof's only 13 years old. Sprinklered. The power doesn't look to be heavy power coming in, so that might be one thing we're going to have to look at, is whether or not we could add more power out here, which I'm sure we can. We'll walk over to the box here in a minute. Only a little bit of damage. Looks like the forklift might have, forklift driver might have got carried away a little bit and hit the outer walls. Got another door over this side. This property sits on about 13 acres within this industrial park, and it's pretty active. I mean, it's got probably another 15-20 tenants around us, so there might be room for expansion one day. Let's see if we can open this door up. Yeah, okay. Poker head, looks like some pallets, probably snaky. You see it's all fenced yard, but that's not the property. The property is a lot bigger than what the fence is, but it is fenced lay down yard, which is good for a prospective tenant to have that fence lay down yard. Looks like a roofing company. There's another big door. Pretty sure that's a 20 by 12, might be a 20 by 14. Anyway, a roofing company had been in here for the last year. They pretty much picked up sticks now that a lot of the roofing jobs are coming to an end. Got some ridge vents up top. You got the old halogen lights. Those could easily be replaced with some LEDs. This floor looks pretty good. No major cracks. Looks like it had a polish on it one time. I don't see anything sinking in. Another big door goes to the, I guess be the west side of the office right there. Some fire extinguishers. Pretty much plugged for power about every 40 feet or so. Outlets. Like I said, I don't see any real heavy power in here for any drop downs or anything like that. Just depend on the tenant, what kind of use they would have. Got all of our emergency lights. Looks like we had some heavier power going in right there one time. And the power box, like I said, we do have a transformer. We can read it. One phase, steps down from 240 to 120. And here's our current box. So like I said, not real heavy on power. Just depends on how much a new tenant would need. Alright, well that's pretty much the walkthrough on the warehouse space. And let's go take a look at the office. Alright, here's the office. You can use a little pressure washing, some landscaping. You get the general idea. Let's go in, make sure nobody's in here. Alright. Looks like we got a couple offices this way. Office there. Network room. Office. Break room. Nice. Another office.
It's crazy there's no
Another office here. There's power. AC lights. And restrooms right here. There you go. Other side. Small little office reception. Another box. 200 amp. And looks like a little layout. Alright. And then back to the warehouse right there. So you can see in between the two buildings. And this looks like maybe another restroom. Excellent. Outdoor restroom, outdoor access. Services the warehouse. Alright, that wraps it up. Back outside, south of the office building. Watch out for them slithers. So here's one of your loading zones. This is going to be the northwest roll-up door. Yeah, you could bump that power up quite a bit, I'm sure. Once again, everything's fenced. The property goes off to the west that way. I'm not sure what kind of drainage they got back there. It looks like it's kind of built up or something. Anyway, here's the west side of the property. The wall. It is occupied right now, but only till I think the end of the year. The current tenant, the roofing company, and they're already looking to sublease or get out of their lease because of a lot of the storm damage. Roofing work is finishing up, wrapping up. That's straight, unpainted metal. About cheap as you can get, probably. No gutters on this end. I don't know why it's big a mountain like that, but I figured that out. It's like a swale kind of around the backside. Here's the south side of the building. And the road loading does have gutters on this side. That's where we stepped out where those pallets were. Man, summertime is here. It's about 92 and it rained this morning, so 85% humidity. But I'm out working. Gotta be working. Gotta be putting deals together. Gotta be looking for that cash flow. Got cash flow coming in. Can't spend it all. Gotta reinvest that stuff. There's one of the neighbors to the south. All right. This is gonna be the east side of the building, which is basically the front. They had a big sign up at one time. And we'll get the particulars on the measurements and whatnot. Like I said, just hit the market. And I just got out here, so we'll start looking at it. All right, there's the entrance. There's the sprinkler hookup.